Okay, this morning we're going to talk to Judy Wawia, who lives on Lake Helen, First Nations, and first thing she did was donate a couple of books, and just hold them up there. She has two booklets that she's going to donate to the museum. The Tercentennial Mass was a very big production that took place in the Nipigon Arena, and this is about the hospital, first hospital when it was built. So good booklets to donate. So Judy, I know I was just saying to you, your Wawia family is one of the bigger ones on the reserve, so you might want to give us a little bit of information, starting with you're talking about your mom, and about what she did on the reserve.
Okay, I come from, like I said, I come from a large family. Edward Wawia and Marie Wawia. They had 16 children. And probably more, because she said she had 4 miscarriages, so we would have had 20. And she always talked about the doctor. And
where did she live at this time?
At this, when she came to Nipigon, my dad said it was a love story, because he knew Agnes, and I guess Agnes had a picture of my mother, and he said he was going to marry her. And that's before they even met. And then when she came, they did get married.
And where did they come from?
My mom is originally from Moose Factory. She was a Cree woman.
Oh, okay.
And her family was carpenters and Moros. But
Okay.
that's where she came from.
Okay. Did she ever say how she got to come here?
No, she never really.
Oh.
I
Sometimes people have a story of what brought them to this part of the country.
and and then she met my dad, and they got married
Okay.
and had all of us.
And so all was at Lake Helen.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they got married in the Nipigon church, and Nora, Cody Bouchard, and Sam Morso stood up for them.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And my mom was designated the first woman chief in Canada. One of the first women chief, and she held 6 terms, I think.
I was going to say, about what time, what year time frame, Judy?
When did she start? I think she started in the 60s. So, yeah. It's hard to read, and she got a commission
Oh, okay.
from what's his name, the minister, and she's got a plot of land that's hers, Township named after her.
Oh.
Wawia Township.
Oh, wow.
And someone goes, "Oh, we got a Wawia Township," and I said, "That's my mother's, not yours, not mine. It's my mother's."
Just hers, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, as the chief in those days, tell me some of the things that she might have been involved in.
Well, she was involved in getting the property on the First Nation. They had to look after everything, and that's what she said. When she first became chief, they handed her a shoebox that was the information. Then after that, she kept everything. Eh? She said, people need to know the history, and how are they going to know if
Right.
no one knows about it?
So when she was chief, did most of the people live on the lakeside of the reserve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I remember that.
when I was young, because I don't know when they started it, but after, because there were only 10 homes.
I remember going over to see the school there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the school, but there were families down the road
Right.
that lived down there. They came to the school too.
Right.
Yeah, there were 10 main homes. Then
Wow.
it grew. Now we got 100 and something.
Wow. Yeah. Big changes.
Yep.
So she had a lot of different roles to play if she was the first one, and it was a small one to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like they had to get funding for more homes and to put the water in. Because my dad said when they first got the home, they had to put electricity in it. They built the house, but that was it. We had to put our own hydro in,
Okay.
and we had to put our own water in. So we did that.
So most of them must have had wells on that side then, did you?
No, they.
Oh, you had a
I
pump
think they said they had a pump
from the lake.
from the lake, and people would go get the water from
Oh,
there.
okay.
So
Okay.
my dad put his own in,
Okay.
so that we had cold water, but we didn't
Right.
have hot water.
So if there were 16 children in the family, how big a house did you have?
We only had a 3-bedroom house. And like I said, when they built the houses, that's all it was. 3 bedrooms, a living room and kitchen. There wasn't even like a bathroom. There was no, so we had to have an outhouse.
Right.
And then after my dad and a couple of his friends, they built an upstairs.
Okay.
So that added 2 more big rooms. Eh?
Right, right.
And then after it got less crowded because the older ones got married and moved off.
Moved out,
So,
right.
because I remember one of my older sisters complaining about the 3 youngest, and he says, "How come they're so spoiled and got everything?" I said, "Because yous all moved out, and mom and daddy can afford it." I said, "I didn't get what they had either, so
Right. Right. So out of the 16, where do you fit in?
I'm the 5th youngest."
5th youngest. Oh,
Mhm.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you still have a lot of siblings survived?
Okay, there's still 9 of us.
9 of you.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good out of 16.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, for sure. And do they live in this area?
Okay, where's the? Yeah, just Jimmy lives out west, and 2 girls live out west. One
Okay.
in Vancouver and one in Regina.
Okay.
But everybody else lives around here,
Okay.
and most of even the grandchildren are around this area, Thunder Bay.
Okay.
They're not far away.
That's kind of nice.
Mhm.
A big family like that.
Yeah.
So what do you think your mom's best accomplishment was when she was the chief then, Judy?
Just that stereotype that men ran things. But it also goes back to, if you go through Native history, the Natives were led by the women.
Mm-hmm.
And it was when settlers came that they said they don't speak to women, so that's when the men chiefs came in.
Okay.
They weren't matriarchal, eh? So that's when it changed. So I don't know if her being one of the first women chiefs started bringing, because there are a lot of Native
right.
women chiefs now. Eh?
Right. Right.
So-
Right. Yeah, I forget about that, but you often think that is mostly the men. You're right.
Mhm.
You're right.
The women actually ran the First Nations.
Right. Well, they always say behind every man is a good woman, so maybe maybe all those women that were in the background were good people. But yeah, it's interesting just that she would have a lot of forging of the way to do and a lot of changes
Yeah.
to make. And to me, when I hear you say that, I wonder, did other chiefs respect her because she
Oh, yeah.
was the first woman?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
she was always gone to some meeting, and we had to look after the house. And
Right. Right. Interesting. So now tell me your side now in conjunction with the school, because I know
Okay.
you've been involved in that for a long time.
I always get tricked into things. Come to like same with when I joined CWL.
Just come to the meeting.
come to a meeting. Next thing you know, I'm the president of CWL. Go to actually, my sister Dolores was what my job is, education counselor at the time. And she says, would you come to a meeting? And I says, what for? She says, just come, it's nothing. And that's when they said that they were looking for a representative for the First Nations to be on the school board. I got in. That was in 1999, so I've been on the school board since 1999 till present. And I think it was 4 years ago I was voted in as vice chair, and 2 years ago I became the chair of the board.
Wow, good for you. So how, I'm just thinking all the changes you've seen since then. Such as? Lot of changes. When my very first meeting I went into, to the I forget what you call us, or whoever held the seats from each town, they were ready to attack the then chair of the board, not the chair, but the one that runs the board. And I said, do I really want to join this? But I ended up staying. But I felt when I first started that I didn't really have a say. And I remember, in fact, when I was first asked to run for vice chair and chair, I'm not going to give any names, but the one that was the chair of the board was, she told the other people not to vote for me. Ooh.
So I said, oh, okay. And then when I was asked again, I said, I don't know if I want to go through this again, feeling let down that I wasn't good enough. But I said, oh, I'll try. I said, if I don't get in, whatever. But I was voted in as vice chair. And
so what's the area now, Judy, that board covers?
The board covers from Red Rock to Manitouwadge, and then we go down to Long Lac and Geraldton.
Okay, so it's that whole big area,
Yeah,
the school
it's
board.
a
big area now. Right.
So we have a trustee from each town,
Right.
Red Rock, Nipigon, Terrace Bay, Scriber, Manitouwadge, Marathon, Geraldton, and Long Lac, and I represent the First Nations.
Okay, so are you the only one that represents First Nations on the board?
On the Catholic board, and one of our other band members, Dr. Paul Cormier, he's the chair on the public board.
Oh, on the public board.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, do you see yourself in a different role than the other board members?
Not really. To me, we're all equal. We have equal say, and they were the ones who elected me in as chair. So,
right.
But I find I talk more,
Well,
and that's what they said. Oh, well, you got good advice, and I said, well, I've been here a long time, and you just gave me a voice. So,
right.
if there's something I don't see right, I will let them know.
Right. So what changes do you think that you've seen then in the schools, maybe, since you got elected, or since you were on the board?
Well, they're more open, and I try to tell people you don't have to be a Catholic to go to Catholic school. We're open to everyone to come, and the only thing is when they're teaching religion, if you don't want it, the parents have to say they don't want them taught. But it's, I said it's just like the public school. It's all the same thing, except that we do respect and all those things.
Right.
All schools do that. It's not just the Catholic Church.
But you do have religion classes that the public school can't have because of the diversity. And I can remember, though, years ago, Judy, when my neighbor sent her son, she had to pay for him to go to the Catholic school
Mm.
because she was a public
Yeah.
school supporter.
Yeah.
So she had to pay. So is that the same? They would have to pay their taxes down too.
Nope,
No,
they,
not the same.
doesn't matter which taxes
Okay.
they pay.
Yeah,
but
I guess-
that's the only thing is we try to tell people because they're Catholic supporters to make sure it says on their ballot that they want their vote to go to the Catholic school.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting because I remember that being one of the stipulations years ago. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a whole new educational thing now for the Indigenous people and all
Yep.
the classes that they teach in school. Because now, since you went on, the Indigenous language is one of the courses that the children can take now,
Yeah.
compared to when you first started. Right? It was always French,
And-
French.
Yeah, and I find a lot, even the non-native want to take the Indigenous classes, and that's what some parents said. My son comes home, he's so happy, and he's talking in Ojibwe, and I don't know what he's saying.
That's good though, eh?
Yeah.
That's good. It's not just the French. I think the French is good, but it doesn't get you everywhere anymore.
Right, and that's what
Yeah.
we want a language, not that it's going to help anybody to get a job or anything. It's just that
Keeping
so
that
it's there
history
to
alive.
keep it going, because if we didn't fight for it,
Right.
we wouldn't have it in the schools.
Right. It's interesting. And I've just followed a little bit of the program that they do and quite a bit of outdoor things.
Oh, yeah.
Or I've seen the classes over at the reserve there taking part in things. And
Yeah.
it's interesting, that's
And
for
we
sure.
do a lot of things for the school. Like we don't donate quite a bit of money. We're supposed to do just the ones that we have a tuition agreement with.
Okay.
We usually donate money to, but we started giving to all schools like Dorian, St. Hilary's, because we have band members that
Right.
go to those schools, but
Right.
we only got tuition with George Neal, St. Ed's, and the high school.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but
That's good though. Yeah. Lots of programs I know that the kids really enjoy them. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you're native or not, you enjoy those programs. Yeah.
yeah, and even the ones that when we first started going to Dorian school, me and Marilyn, and we were teaching them about drumming and singing. Then one night they said the parents want to talk to you, and so we went there in the evening. We said, "Oh no, don't." We thought they were going to say to stop, but they wanted to know more. They wanted us to come out more and do different things. So
That's good. Yes. Yeah. All the kids like the drumming.
yeah, they
Yeah.
like drumming, and we were teaching them about native medicines, and
Right.
so.
Yeah. Good. Well, our time is up already, but
Holy, that was fast.
interesting anyway, and I'm glad that you were willing to come and talk to us.
Did you want to look at any of this stuff?